Aloha, friends and family. Let's jump right into igniting the internal flame. The planet is looking for balance in the self. Since the self is a composite of all things, it is a harmonic that balances all of your extraterrestrial selves, multidimensional selves, male and female selves. You are You are an incredibly whole being. You are beginning to realize this. Allow yourself to blossom and come into this completeness. No one hinders you but yourself. If you allow this completion, there are vistas awaiting you that are beyond your imagination. You are discovering that you need your emotional body and that you need both your femininity and your masculinity. You need all that you have been gifted with in order to survive and understand what is unfolding upon the planet. Please realize the severity of the times that you are living in. As we spend time with each of you, you in turn will be tested and then taken to teach many others when it comes time. Through feelings, you can discover much more, for you are seeking to resolve something and make something whole within yourself, to show yourself how unwhole you are. You have created a situation of tremendous separation that appears to be outside of yourself. It looks as if your drama has to do with a powerful man against a powerful woman. Which one is going to be the victim? Who is right and who is wrong? What is this internal drama actually saying? What is this outside mirror that images what is going on inside of you? As you access multidimensionality, you must merge male and female. You will not stop at the separation or fight between men and women that has been going on for thousands of years. Who is creating the separation between men and women? It is the creator gods who have set up this paradigm for you and instigated these frequencies from other points of view. The separation story has served them well because of the havoc it has created. The male vibrations came into power in recent times, some 5,000 years ago. In order to slowly recognize who they were, they completely and totally disassociated themselves from anything that was formerly in power. The matriarchal movement and females. Females operate traditionally through the realms of intuition and feeling. Males have also been carriers of intuition and feeling a multitude of times, but in this recent separation, they did not carry feelings with them. There was a huge schism, and the males and females on the planet came into great conflict. Why did this occur? It was a setup. It was a setup by the creator gods who took over the planet and raided the reality, feeding, keeping themselves alive and functioning, and nourishing themselves off emotional turmoil. This planet has been subjected to all kinds of plans and activities orchestrated to create greater and greater emotional turmoil. The more people involved in these activities, the more potential for emotional turmoil there has been. The creator gods instigated these activities and set you up to work against each other. In order to bust this paradigm, as you all are on assignment to do, you must change many of the separating structures that have been set up. Whatever the separation may be between man and woman, black or white, or Oriental and Caucasian, you must change it. You came onto the planet purposely to insert yourselves as members of the family of light in situations that are archetypal. As we have said, you are doing this so that you can understand the masses and transmute energy for them by being able to transmute it within yourself. Once you make a healing or joining, you take it on and heal not only yourself, you heal the species and the mass psyche. Remove yourselves from your personal drama and realize that it is all symbolic. See yourself as a female entity looking for identity, and notice how a male identity constantly seems to oppose you. You must discover how you can bring these identities together inside yourself. When the joining occurs inside you, it will automatically proceed outside you. As you have journeyed upon this planet, part of what you have come to heal is male dominion over the female. You don't need to take what you are doing personally or carry it as a personal burden as if it is just yours. It is not just yours, it is universal. Each of you carries energies to resolve within your collective experience. As members of the family of light, you each have your reincarnational goodies, your stuff, in areas that most impersonate you and that you find to be stimulating. That is why you are all different. As members of the family of light, you need to branch out or fan out to get the hang of being human. You need to cover the full spectrum of experience so that you can comprehend from a cellular level how much more needs to be transmuted, how deep the sense of powerlessness runs, and how lost the energy of the goddess is from the consciousness of the species. Remember, you are creatures who have been locked in development by frequency, and your task is to bring human beings to the place where they can be poised and consciously accelerate human evolution. When you are locked in evolution by frequency and DNA manipulation, there is only a certain kind of frequency that can broadcast. There is fighting with the self, and things seem to be more separated. As you become more complete, you do not separate things in such a way. You see that all things are part of the experience. Sometimes you become so lost in the experience of being human that you forget what you are here to do. As members of the family of light, you have come here to transmute for the species. As soon as you get less attached to the dramas, you will not feel so caught up and victimized by them. You will understand that this is a collective of energy you are dealing with. So collectively, if you can come to the realization inside yourselves, you can broadcast a new vibration for women and men to harmonize with. Every time you feel as if you have made headway, you have. Do not discount the steps you have taken. You discredit yourself when you look at your behavior and judge yourself or others as bad. Look at what you get out of everything. The conflict that is going on is actually between the male and female inside of you. You have not figured out how to merge your male and female parts, and there are millions of others with the same conflict. Be kind and generous to yourselves. As you build cooperation between your male and female counterparts within yourselves, you will be able to find the cooperation to work with one another on the planet and the cooperation to work with the beings who come from space, who are all yourselves. You all need to become sovereign. As you change, you need to have a space around you within which you can operate without feeling obligated to someone else. At the same time, you cannot make demands on someone else without allowing them the same right. You are redefining in many ways the whole concept of relationship and cooperation. Relationship is cooperation. It is agreed cooperation of frequency, a frequency modulation blending. Many of your old ways of relating are becoming very irritating because you are discovering a freedom frequency. Your assignment is to pull that freedom frequency onto the planet. Of course, you will pull it into your own life and family and relationships first. Ideally, you will learn how to be free while still being involved in an intricate number of relationships, relatings, and relayings of life. Unfortunately, on this planet, relationships cannot connote. I think it's a typo, denote maybe. Unfortunately, on this planet, relationships denote ownership. When a man and woman get married, the woman's father traditionally has the role of giving her away. In other words, a male figure must hand her over. There is an incredible expectancy within relationships about another's behavior. Get clear about what your idea of relationship is, and this will facilitate things in the long run. Just as there is no ownership with parenthood, there is no ownership in a relationship. You relate to one another as you relate energies back and forth. Ideally, there is communication with all of this relaying and relating. The male vibrations give their power away just as much as the females. They give it away to a government that says, here, go jeopardize your life. Go take a stand and shoot for us. If your body gets chopped up, we will take care of you in the hospital and give you a bit of money. What the heck? Go for it. And the males just obey. The chain of obeying and giving the power of the individual away is then complete. You are opening your feeling centers. Men tend to have greater blocks in their feeling centers than women do. Energy in the male has been stuck because it has moved from the first chakra to the second chakra and stopped. The feeling center in the male vibration has not been activated. This is part of the experiment that has gone on for the last 4,000 or 5,000 years. The female energy, which feels and brings life onto the planet and represents creativity, moved into a submissive state in order for the male vibration to have its opportunity without feeling to run the world. We want you to get the big picture. We are looking at movements of consciousness. The female who carried the magic and the intuitive agreed to give these up. Female meaning not just female physical beings, but consciousness who were female. Many of the native cultures that lived with Earth and knew about life were very feminine. Remember, the female literally brings life onto the planet, for life comes out of the female body. The female, therefore, carries feelings because you can't bring life onto the planet and not feel unless you participate in a patriarchal movement that creates drugs to numb you from feeling. When you can't feel life, you don't value life. When you feel life and participate in the creation and deliverance of life, you value life much more because you know about it. The patriarchal movement over the last 5,000 years has removed itself from the birthing process so that it could carry out its experimentations involving war and the continual annihilation of people. The energy was purposely blocked in the male. As we mentioned, the male energy is very stuck. We are not pointing fingers. However, we are saying in general that the energy of the male species on the planet is very stuck in the second chakra or within the penis. Females, you are stuck in your throats because you agreed 4,000 or 5,000 years ago to be silent about the magic and intuition of what you represented and knew as one part of the twin flame. The twin flame is the male and female existing in one body, whether you are physically male or female. The patriarchal society has been run by the male aspect of the self, which you all have been. You have all experimented with consciousness and taught yourselves about what works best, preparing for this time when the flames will be lit together in your body. At this time, the twin flame is not sought as a partner outside of the self, but is, I'm going to say, understood to be the integration of the male and female selves and the ripeness of all that self has done. After you have integrated the male and female within yourself and activated your own twin flame, then when you seek a partner, you will seek someone complete, not someone to fill the need that you have not acknowledged or that you have not filled for yourself. During these times of change, women are going to need to open their throats and give themselves permission to speak out. Now is the time. And men, your challenge is understanding women and other men is to feel and to let feeling enter your expression of sexuality in your relationships. Many men now are having a very difficult time with women. Women are driving men crazy. It is true. What we are suggesting for the male vibration and also for the female who operates in the male aspect of herself is that you move into feeling in your sharing of sexuality, move into the emotionality of things rather than just the sexuality and stimulation of the body. There is an emotional stimulation that needs emotional commitment and emotional trust. Electromagnetically, this emotional stimulation will open a frequency within you. This frequency that sexuality represents is a reminder of your godhood. The male shut down his feeling center in order to experience stewardship upon the planet. He was able to carry on war and to kill and dominate the planet because he had shut down his feeling center. The female agreed to have her speaking center shut down so that the male would have the opportunity to experience being in charge of this system. All of this now coming to a point of stabilization or equalization. The female began to open her throat about 30 years ago, making the opportunity to speak fashionable. The problem is that many females ended up shutting down their feeling centers as they opened their speech centers. They began to become very much like males. A balance is needed. Now the female is finding the need to awaken the feminine principle inside herself. She is in a female body and has mastered the use of the male vibration within herself. She has gone out into the world and she feels powerful. She can walk the streets without a veil on her face, and she can decide whether she wants to be married. She is her own property. She is responsible in this country for her own decisions. She is beginning to soften and to awaken the portion of herself that nurtures her and brings her life. As she makes herself whole with her male and her female portions and allows herself to experience the evolved DNA, she broadcasts this frequency. This frequency will become very prevalent upon the planet. It is inevitable that men will open their feeling centers. That is the next step men must go through to establish a balance with the female. This will happen very quickly for men. It will not be a 30-year process because men at this time are moving as a populace into confusion. Men are realizing that they don't like what is occurring and they are questioning authority. At some point, the frequencies will become predominant. Then, for example, a person may be experimenting on an animal in a laboratory when their feeling center is suddenly and radically opened. The person feels the pain that the animal is feeling, and what they have been doing becomes abhorrent. They turn around and walk away from the laboratory and never go back because they are so shaken. This is what is coming for the male vibration. We have said that the male vibration will transform in a very short period of time. We will not tell you why or how because some of you will consider it to be entirely too ominous. However, we will say that as the waves continue to come, there will be a unilateral rising of consciousness within the population. At a certain point, when men are in the deepest struggle of mastering feeling, the feeling center will be activated. This will either occur gently or it will be blown wide open. Women at the same time will be hit, infused, and enveloped with the opening of the heart chakra so that they can have compassion while they watch their men feel. We are speaking of mass events that will trigger people through waves of light. Female energy, that which feels and connects life to life, is being awakened in everyone. Women must redefine their ideas of femaleness and strength. They must find what it is to be strong as females, just as men must discover what it is to be vulnerable as males. What is the endearing aspect of the male when he is vulnerable? What is the enduring aspect of the female when she is in self-empowerment, when she is a feminine version of empowerment and not a masculine version? Women have had a hard shell around their energy fields. They have been protecting themselves. Now they are going to develop true emotional strength. That hard outer shell will diffuse, and the light body will radiate from the heart. The goddesses, and the gods are agreeing and working with this energy. It is so decreed that this is how the drama will unfold. The old stories have been buried and covered that recount the magic of the female, the creator, the one able to bring forth, the one holding the mystery of blood, the life force, and the one able to put that life force back into earth. Where are the stories of the goddess, she who loves and feels and nurtures? The male species used to have goddess energy inside too, and felt the need for the goddess. In order to better control the planet during the last several thousand years, All the myths have been given to you by extraterrestrials. They have seeded all of your religious institutions. We have said you are an experiment. At times, the experiment has been uplifting and loving, but in recent times, it has moved into incredible decay. You, as members of the family of light, have come to raid this planet and pull light back into it so that the nonsense and separation of war never be believed again. Men and women are meant to complete each other, not oppose each other. Remember, feeling is emotion. Emotion is the key to getting off this planet. It is the key to figuring out the multidimensional self, healing it, and becoming one. It is also the key to lovingly activating Earth as a living library, returning a valuable area of existence from extinction. With men and patriarchal society in charge of this planet for the last several thousand years, and women taking a position underground, not even in the back seat, separation has been the theme, and emotion has been pushed aside, given a bad name, and frowned upon. You have been automatons, NPCs, I threw that in there, performing roles that were given to you to keep you separated. You do not have a pantheon of powerful female creator images. You have nothing on which to pattern a positive image of the empowered feminine. So men are striving to be male and women are striving to be empowered through a male vibration because you do not have a clear vision of the empowered female. You must create it. Begin to recognize the wealth of energy in the female version of self, which is intuition, receptivity, creativity, compassion, and nourishment. You are discovering that there is a wealth of identity and an essence that has been discredited for a long time. If you are female, of course, you are a living form of that essence. Men must discover their form of the goddess within themselves, where the goddess meets the god in them. By the same token, the view of the masculine is distorted. You do not have an example of an empowered, feeling male. Society has deemed feeling males soft and lacking in masculinity. Men are beginning to look at their emotions and say, hey, I feel this, and know that they are still men. So men and women are both creating role models for empowered, integrated versions of masculine and feminine. These models are coming, and they are coming quickly. The time for separation is finished. As we mentioned, it is not outside yourself that you are looking for a twin flame partner. You are looking for the integration of the female and male essence within yourself. They make one whole. Whole people are looking to connect with other whole people in relationships that are based on trust, desire, and choice. The relationships are not based on, I need you in my life to complete me and validate me. You become complete in yourself and operate with someone else who is complete in themselves and offers a whole new territory to explore. When you marry that twin flame inside yourself, you are recognizing the intuitive, goddess, life-bringing, sensitive portion of yourself, as well as the portion of yourself that is powerful, rational, and intellectual. One that is very much of the earth plane, and the other is very much of the spiritual plane. When you merge these energies together in yourself, it will be imperative that you find someone who has the same qualities. You will not fit with someone who is not integrated and whole. You will automatically draw whole people to yourself, and it will be effortless. You will be able to plug into one another out of desire and recognition, not out of need. You will achieve something that you never recognized as a possibility in any relationship before. You you will give relationship a very new personality, a new boundary, and a new definition. You will become your own role models for this new type of relationship. Many of you will find that the marriage institution is meaningless. It will not fit and house what you know or how you want to live. As all of you are on the path of integrating the polarities within yourselves, difficult issues are going to come up over and over again. Welcome the difficult times, for they can be your greatest teacher. Stay focused on your own growth, your own path, and your own self, and not on what others are doing. The narratives. Call on your own internal masculine and feminine to set up a dialogue between them so that they can begin to work in partnership and harmony. Give yourself a lot of love and encouragement. Make an appointment with yourself and say, I love you, self. You are a wonderful self. You are a number one, the best self. When you give yourself the dignity of your own love, as if you were royalty receiving the accolades of the people, everything changes. Strength and integration become yours because you believe in and love who you are. When you believe in and love yourself, everything starts to go your way. The most difficult thing for most of you is making the commitment to believe you deserve love. No one else has to love you. You are not here to go around gathering love from other people to convince yourself that you are worth it. You are here to master a very difficult task in a system that is dark and gives very little input, stimulation, or information about the true story. You are here to do the impossible by committing to love yourself and making this commitment the number one step from which you operate every day. Everything falls into place. You become whole and complete. Then you are ready for a bonded relationship with another who is complete. And that relationship can take you into unexplored realms. A little bit of nature with this morning's reading. I can't see my screen whatsoever. I can't tell if it's recording. I can't tell anything. So hopefully I didn't mess it up. But I thought we'd sit out here in the sun. It's kind of cold, a little chilly. Listen to the birds. And let that soak in, let what we just heard soak in. I've been talking about the same type of thing for a minute or two of this merging. And I think that we're not only merging the male and the female aspects and energies, but we're also merging the physical and spiritual aspect and creating that master artwork, that masterful piece of art that God collects, as I put in another video, which is the soul. The soul is the personality that is created when we merge the spirit and the flesh and the male and the female. To where we become a someone that can travel from life to life and still be themselves, still be their self, where you don't end up in your next life in a new avatar with a new ego that has its personality, and that personality dominates the self. Well, that's not you. That's not you. You're the eternal part, right? You're the etheric spiritual self. But that self is not recognizable when you get to another life in 3D, because they've designed this place to where ego rules the self. And so you have a personality, your avatar has a personality that's not you. That's not you. In other words, it's soulless. This is what I'm talking about when I speak about NPCs. They're soulless because they have not developed their souls, because they have not integrated their spirit and their flesh. They have not integrated their female and their male. And it does take time to get it. So I get that too. It takes time to get this. And the birds and the sound of nature and the beauty and the light of the sun and the green of the trees, all of this acts as a reminder of all this somehow. I don't exactly know how. It's given off frequencies. They're frequencies. And they're frequencies that are connected to the prime creator. So that's why they have the power to bring forth remembrance of things that you don't remember. Bring forth knowing of things that you don't know. And bring forth power that you do not have. There you are. Hey, buddy. Come tell us about it, buddy. Remind us. So that's it, folks, for this one. Felt like I needed to add a little bit on to yesterday's video. So hopefully this is a good addition to that. Love and light to the family of light, and to those friendly with the family of light. Until next time.